What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Let's Learn. Today we're going to look at Elysium by Bear's Den. Okay, now in case you've been here before, usually what I do is I explain the song, but I do it with a little bit more theory and explaining kind of how I learned it. So if that's not what you're looking for, you might find this kind of boring, a little bit frustrating. You might want to look somewhere else. Otherwise, let's just get right to it. So the song is in the key of G major. So the first sort of your verses and largely the sort of in-between section between verses, they sound like this. So it's... Right, so there's it goes on like that, and there's a little bit of variation in one spot, but that's really all there is to it. So how do we do that? Well, like most of these songs that we do, you start out just by listening to your roots, right? So this song makes it really easy. There's really a clearly defined low note and then sort of higher two notes, right? You're going bum, ya da da, bum, ba da da, bum, ba da da, right? So those low notes I'm talking about sound like this. Right? So it's pretty easy to hear. So right off the bat, we've got G, 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 E, 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 E. And then it goes down to a B and then a C, right? So in other words, 3rd fret on the E string, 7th fret on the A string, 2nd fret on your A string, and then 3rd fret on your A string. Now those high notes, they go da-da-da, da-da-da. They're not hard to play. I'm just trying to think about how to explain the theory. Basically, they're a lot like if you're doing a bar chord, right? So if you don't know what a bar chord is, you'll probably want to check out one of my sort of like just theory instructional videos. I'll link to that below. But basically, if you had like a G major bar chord, and then an E minor, and then a B minor, and then a C minor, or I'm sorry, a C major, and you were only going to use your index and your middle finger to pick the G and the B strings, it would sound something like this, right? So root, G string, B string, G string. So right? And while that sounds okay, you can hear that it's not quite right. And the reason why is basically what they've done is they've taken the root from that, and with the exception of the G major, they're taking whatever finger was on the B string, right? So using the E minor, which is the 2nd chord as an example, they've taken the root and that note, which is normally where your middle finger would be, and they're only playing those two. And they're leaving the G string open that you're plucking with your index finger. So, right, thumb, index, middle, index. The reason they can do that is because since this song is in G, and you have a G string there, it's one of the situations where pretty much anywhere in the song you can play a G, whether it's an open G or 5th fret on the D string or whatever. It's pretty much always going to sound at least okay. So that makes it pretty easy, and that's why that works. So enough about the theory. Let's just get right to it. We're going to start out root and then open G, open B, open G. Up to 7th fret and 8 there. Right, so thumb, open G, 8 on B, open G. Right, and that's the exact same shape, slid down to 2nd fret, so you've got 2 and 3, right? Just like a couple parts of a B minor chord, right? And then we've got over to a C, so 3rd fret on the A string and 5th fret on the B string, right? So that sounds like this. Right? And that's just like a normal C major bar chord, only we've left a whole bunch of stuff that we just don't need. We're not bothering with. So that's all that is. Pretty easy. Right? So that's your verses. The brother, do you believe in an afterlife where our souls will both collide in some great Elysium? way up in the sky, right? That's the gist of that. Same thing happens for the rest of the verse and the rest of the next verse. So it's pretty easy. The little in-between section between the two verses, it just does G with the open strings, the E minor, and then it goes to a D, right? So it sounds like... Right? So if you can't quite see that, that's 5th fret on the A string and 7th fret on the B string. Right? In the same pattern. Thumb, ba, ba, ba. Thumb, index, middle, index. And that's pretty much it. So really, really easy in terms of the verses there. It gets to that section later that's kind of leading into the bigger, kind of exciting ending. The brother don't grow up. Right? And that's just a C. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's an A minor 7. Right? So it's just like a normal A minor, but take off your ring finger so that the G string is open again. And you're going to notice that's kind of a recurring theme in this whole song, is that G string is pretty much always left open. Brother, don't grow, D major. Same picking pattern. Back to the A minor 7. Brother, please never grow up. On the second time, it goes to a C major. And then we're into the sort of big section that has the trumpets and the horns and everything come in. It's really cool. But for guitar, really easy. You're just going to strum a G, E minor, D major. All right, now the only variation is with the E minor. I'm leaving my my ring and pinky fingers down like that on 3rd fret on the B and E strings. Very easy. They're already going to be there with the G chord, most likely. So, just leave them there. Make life easy for yourself. So you're doing G, 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 E minor, D major. Right? So it does that twice for the trumpets, and then the vocals come back in with the hold out against the night. And that's going to be like a B minor. Just hold out, C major against the night, down to a G. Okay? So that's pretty easy. You can do a couple different variations of B minor. I like this one where I basically have the root, so 2nd fret on B, or on the A string, which is a B note, 3rd fret on the B string, and then 2nd fret on the E string. Again, leaving that G string open, just like we've been doing for most of this song, right? So, just hold out against the night. I like how that chord sounds. Take it or leave it. You can just do a normal B minor if you want. It's all good. After the hold out against the night, all that, once it gets to the vocal line, for the darkness she will come, oh, and you have nowhere left to run. That's just, again, pretty easy. It's just like that sort of section we had at the end of the verses. That's the brother don't grow up. Exact same chords, right? For the darkness she will come, D major. And then this time it's going to be A minor and then a C. And then the vocals go, oh, but your eyes are wider than mine. And that's following the same vocal line as the trumpet section had earlier, right? Remember the ba, da, 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 right? So exact same chords. G, E minor, D. Makes it really easy. It does that a whole bunch of times, through the don't let bitterness become you, and so on. Right, so the only thing left in this song is at the very end during the just hold out against the night and guard your hope with your life. Right, so that's once again just a B minor, C, G. And you may have noticed I was doing this variation of the B again because I like it, then the C and the G, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so I know maybe that went a little fast, but it's really an easy song, and that's really all there is to it. So if that helped you out, give it one of these. If it didn't, give it one of these and maybe tell me why so I can do better next time. But otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.